in Chicago. The Bears defeat the Packers by a score of 24-22. The 10-game losing streak is over, but the season's over for the Chicago Bears as well. Cap, the season ends at 5-12, and boy, what a nightmare of a season. 5-12, and think about where the Bears were last year. They won 7 games last season, now going backwards as a team. Fired coaches, and then battled quarterback, locker room issues that need fixing, skill, culture, discipline. 3 things off the top of my head that is needed for the Chicago Bears team. But here we are. Season's over, 5-12, but the Bears are able to salvage the season by defeating the rival Green Bay Packers yesterday at Lambeau Field.
Mercifully, the season, Johnny, has come to an end, but there was nothing sweeter in terms of how you end a season by beating the Green Bay Packers and walking them off. Cairo Santos from 51 yards. He said he prayed all week. Please give me a chance. Please give me a chance. Bam! He drills 51-yarder in cold. I was up there. Not at the game, but I was up in that area all week. We had time off. It was freezing cold. That ball had to be like a rock, A. B, windy. C, you're on the road. Your team stinks, and you're playing them. You've lost 10 in a row overall. LaFleur's 11-0 against you. The last time the Bears beat the Packers, Mitchell Trubisky was the starting quarterback for Chicago, and yet he came through. Snap, set, kick, awesome. Right through the uprights. Love to see it. Now the heavy lifting starts. You better get this coaching search right. You better get the right leader of your team. CEO. That's what you need. I don't care if he's a special teams coach like John Harbaugh was. I don't care if he's a quarterbacks coach like Andy Reid was. I don't care if you have to go find an existing head coach and trade for him. Get the right guy in here. It does not matter what position he coaches. It matters that he's the right coach.
I want to make sure it's very clear this morning that, again, the season's over and the Bears end up being 5-12. Anytime you see the Bears win, it's great. But I think that we have to be able to look at reality, Cap. And the reality is that the Bears slid backwards from even last year. You're trying to be able to build towards something, 3 wins to 7 wins, to something that I thought was going to be very special this year, or at least being able to take another step. And unfortunately, you went the other direction. And so when I look at this team, you are an F+ in the division. You have a coach and a coaching staff that really need to be able to hone in on some of the positives of this football team, enhance the best of this football team. You've got to be able to get yourself a pass rush, offensive line. You got to get a confident quarterback that's going to be able to do more things than just screen pass. So I look forward to seeing what the next season brings. But, you know, it's interesting, Cap, that the Bears won this football game because Thomas Brown, who was the darling of Chicago just because it wasn't Matt Eberflus. I mean, I would like for you to find someone in your life that you can love as much as Thomas Brown loves the screen pass. Honest to God, man. I mean, so here's a guy with a gun of an arm, and you won't take shots down the field. You'd rather be able to just matriculate around the line of scrimmage with 5-yard passes, 4-yard passes, screen passes. And I said, Thomas, hey, man, this might be the last time that you're going to be a head coach. It might be the last time. I mean, you're an interim head coach, but this might be your last opportunity. Air it the F out. Get it down the field. Stretch the defense some. Nah, we'll just do screen passes. It's actually fortunate that the Bears were able to win that football game because here's Caleb Williams, who's been battered and beaten. And so you would think, hey, Cap, how about a 20, 25-yard pass down the field? How about taking some deeper shots? And we just got screen pass after screen pass after screen pass as if we're just trying to maintain until we get to the playoffs next week. Well, you're not getting to the playoffs. You have no tomorrow.
Right, your season's
no tomorrow.
over.
So I just thought that was odd.
Yeah, and not only was it a screen pass after screen pass, it was wide receiver screen pass after wide receiver screen pass. Look, I like Rome Odunze. I'm glad he's on our team, and I think he'll be a really good receiver down the road. He's not very good as a blocker on the edge. Mm-hmm. Just a memo to everybody up there. So I'm with you. I was beside myself. That's A. B, when you're trying to run out the clock and you have the lead by 2.
Yes.
You're running the ball. I thought DeAndre Swift really competed yesterday. I think he did all year. bad offensive line, bad blocking on the edges by the receivers in large part all season long. Yet that guy put his head down and just kept grinding. And yesterday, you're trying to run out the clock, and he's actually making progress.
Yes.
Now, I talked to a couple of guys who played, not in the game, former players. And I said, can you explain to me why you're throwing a wide receiver screen to DJ Moore when you're running the ball so effectively? They said it was a run-pass option. Caleb should not have thrown it, but he also isn't the guy that fumbled it. DJ Moore did.
That's correct.
Hand the freaking ball off. So they found a way to win. It was super cool that they beat the Packers and that losing streak ends, but they got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I'd also just be able to say this, and again, there are no moral victories especially for a season like this. This does not carry over to next season. I know for Caleb Williams, because he can walk off to vacation in the sun with a victory, so he can feel good about that. Mm-hmm. That's not a carryover for next year, because next year is going to be a new coach, new coaching staff, and new teammates, hopefully on that offensive line for Caleb Williams. So, I mean, it's nice that the Bears won, but just this season, waiting for a victory, Cap. All this time waiting for a victory, we finally got one. I will say this, that the team did rally around Thomas Brown, because it's been a really, really difficult season. And so at least for Thomas Brown, yesterday, he was able to get his flowers from the players.
I just want to say this, and I told him this just then while the music was going, is that through all the ups and downs, I told him through all the times that he's cursing me out and I'm cursing him out in the field, I've been able to make this happen. Like you said, a first of this year, a first in 10 years. But I do want to say this. This goes to TB. Yeah!
Ease is the greatest enemy of success. Yes, sir. That wasn't easy. No, not at all. First, difficult moments, highs and lows. Right. The second thing is doubt. I believe in everybody in this room. Y'all believe. Wasn't perfect. Ugly at times. I was pissed at times. Right. Never lost faith. Finally win. Right? Love y'all boys, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What can Brown do for you?
And there you have it.
There you have it.
Thomas Brown being celebrated by his team as the Bears win 24-22.
And by the way, for all the people out there on social, I didn't see Ryan Poles in the locker room. Where was he? He was there. He was in the locker room.
That doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. It took on like a firestorm. Well, there's Kevin Warren. There's Thomas. Where's Ryan Poles? I don't see him.
Yes.
He was there. He was in the locker room. I confirm that. He was there. Now the heavy lifting starts. Poles did tell Jeff Joniak here on the home of the Bears, ESPN 1000, that Thomas will get an interview for the job. I just don't believe he's a serious candidate. They have to hire someone with cachet, whether that's Mike Vrabel, who may be going to New England, whether that's Ben Johnson, who's done a great job in Detroit. Whoever walks into that building has got to have cachet where he goes, we're doing it my way or you're out of here, period. Mm-hmm. Like this morning, The Athletic is tweeting, the Bears are expressing interest in Broncos DC Vance Joseph.
Sure.
Jets and Bears both asking to talk to him. That's fine. Mm-hmm. Vance Joseph's not going to be the next head coach of the Bears. I don't believe.
I just think that when you're the Bears and you have to realize that this is the most important hire that you'll have, this coach is going to be the most important hire that you'll have in quite some time, because everything is about the centerpiece of the organization, Cap, and that's Caleb Williams. So this can't just be, all right, another 3 years of this guy, another 4 years. No. It's different. Because you have a diamond in the rough in Caleb Williams.
Yep.
You must be able to get this right. Not just the head coach, but the coaching staff. Mm-hmm. Because you need to foster Caleb Williams along. The guy, he's a rookie now going into a second year, and he is the best one of the best players, if not the best player that you have right now, especially at his age. So this is why it is really important for the Bears to be able to find the right person to unlock the mystery that is Chicago Bears football. You got to get this right. And if you don't, again, you're squandering another young quarterback again in this organization, like Justin, like Mitch, and others before them.
Yeah, this is the brightest light you've had at that position. He did something yesterday Justin never did. Never beat Green Bay. Mm-hmm. Mitch did it once. That was when they clinched the division in 2018 at Soldier Field. Look, there have been 28 quarterbacks who've gone number one overall since 1967. 28. If you look at the overall ranks for Caleb Williams is first in interception to touchdown ratio. He's fourth in rush yards per game. He's fourth in completion percentage. There's some great quarterbacks that had awful rookie years. Peyton Manning, Troy Aikman. Those are Hall of Famers. He's the first Bears quarterback ever, and I know it's not a long list, have at least 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, less than 10 interceptions. And if you look at what he did, he's the only guy in Bears history to put up the numbers he put up, combined rush and passing yards over 4,000. That's never happened here, ever. So this narrative that, well, I don't know if they'd take him number one again. They would take him 1-1 again. That's a fact.
Well, I think that, and we're going to hear from Ryan Poles, the general manager for the Chicago Bears, coming up at 7:15 here on Kap and J Hood, presented by ESPN Bet. I think that the mental masturbation of which rookie quarterback that you take over Caleb Williams, I just think that that's a non-starter for me because Caleb Williams is the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. I mean, you just can't just switch quarterbacks because you think that there's a rookie quarterback that'll be better than Caleb. I mean, it's just not what it is. The contract's signed, the ink is dry, and Caleb Williams is your future. So the idea that, well, I wouldn't want him now. Now I'd take Daniels, or no, I'll take Bo Nix. Well, here's the thing. You can't take them. You can't take them. All you can ask for is for Caleb Williams to be better in year 2, year 3, year 4. The numbers are great, but he's saddled with that 5-12 just like anybody else. It's what I said when we first came here, Cap, and that's for any rookie quarterback. There's going to be growing pains. I know you got tired of me saying that all summer, but that's really what it is. For any quarterback that takes that position, there's going to be growing pains because it's not about the individual ability. It's about how he can read a defense. It's about how the quarterback can be able to work with his team. It's how you're able to get better week in and week out. That if you made mistakes, accentuate the positives and hide the negatives of whatever your game is in year 1. So what I said is that Caleb Williams is not going to be the ready product. Just because he's number 1 in the draft does not make him Patrick Mahomes. And however you want to rank the rookie quarterbacks, you go ahead and do that. But I'm a Bears fan. I couldn't care less about the rest of it. I can't get Jaden Daniels on this football team or Bo Nix or any other rookie quarterback. You know why? Because I'm a Bears fan. I got Caleb Williams. So that conversation to me, I always ignore. If it's on my phone, I flip to the next thing because it does not matter. And when I'm a Bears fan, I can't compare. Well, I wish I had that guy. I can't have that guy because I'm a Bears fan.
Correct.
So
this is our guy.
Well, that's what I'm invested in. The whole the idea that we go through the list like, well, Caleb is 4th amongst rookies. He's 5th. Nothing I can do about that.
Correct. And none of those guys were dropped into the situation of 3 offensive coordinators, 2 head coaches, an awful offensive line. Maybe it's not 32nd. It's damn close. Sacked, 69 times? I mean, come on, man. Get an adult in the room. Whatever he coaches does not matter. Whether he's a D coordinator, O coordinator, wide receivers coach, special teams coach, quarterbacks coach, or a former head coach like Pete Carroll. It doesn't matter. Just get the right freaking guy in here.